same.
Right.
Because this is right, correct.
I would like the motion to approve whatever you said.
The motion to. The motion to approve the final plan pending the approval of inspection of the private published utility system. Okay. And then,
So Nicole seconds, all in favor. All right, the code motion passes. The final item on our agenda, so the meeting is adjourned at 6:12 p.m.
I see yours over there, but they've got it moved to where it's looking next to me.
Let's just see. I guess it's there.
It is one reason that we're.
The one that they were talking. Oh, yeah.
Nope. Because that's what I was saying, these are all in there before it's rezoned, we didn't get anything about, it was just decided on that.
Just double checking, does anyone need to speak to the Board of Adjustment or the council that is not already on the agendas? I have to swear in through, let a road note. I first, before we get started, I need to swear in Sean Tyler, Ricky Price, and Ed Whitfield. The three of them, this is their second term. And so anytime you begin a new term, you have to be sworn in. So I have to do that because they cannot vote on anything until I do that. So, Ricky, I'll need you to read that, sign that one. This is Ricky's. Like, one. This is yours. Sorry, folks, we have a lot going on tonight, and I do appreciate your patience with us. Okay. Okay, sorry. So, if you all will, I'm gonna swear you all in at one time to, make this go quicker. So if you wanna stay right there, you can, because I find that y'all are. I'll just stand down here. All right. You will raise your right hand and repeat after me. In the name and by the authority of
In the name by authority of
the state of Texas.
State of Texas.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear
Solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
faithfully execute
the duties of the city council
the duties of the city council,
of the city of Howe,
the city of Howe,
state of Texas,
state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
will to the best of my knowledge
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
of this state,
of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. And I need you to sign that top one, the top one. Please. And then I'll sign the bottom. And then you can go.
Those are all focused.
Or I hope so. We don't run away. There being a quorum present, this regular session of the Board of Adjustment is hereby called to order on Wednesday, May 20, 2026 at 6:18 PM. Under the Open Meetings Act of the state of Texas. If you will, remove your hats and silence your cell phones, and let's stand for the engagement. And Councilman Ingram is going to lead us tonight.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, thank you for this community we get to call home. Thank you for my fellow council members, if you would guide us, with the spirit of teamwork and leadership to help foster the growth that we have come into this area, Lord. Also, please be with the class of 2026 as they graduate, spread their wings and go out into the world. May they show everyone how and you, Lord, be with us as we go through this. Thank you for everything. In your son's name, amen.
Amen. And now for the pledges. Sorry, the very flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Now for the Texas flag. All
With the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the state.
Come on, we don't know the Texas pledge, y'all. Come on.
I'll get a
Famous flags.
Okay, I'll quickly do a roll call. We have Mr. Ingram, Mr. Price, Mr. Tyler, Mr. Woods, Mr. Whitfield, and myself, Ms. McDonald. We are all present and accounted for. We have four. Current business. Discuss considering act upon the minutes of the meeting for April 21, 2026. And if anyone needs time to equal those, I'll give you that time.
I motion to approve.
Okay, Billy's gonna make a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Ricky makes a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number two, discuss, consider, and act upon the variance request for property at 111 Davis Street, Howe, Texas. BID 152299 G-0544. Painting J.A. G-0544 acres .34. Discussion. The covered patio would be located at the back side of the home. Our code enforcement officer denied the request because the zoning ordinance section 27.2.3 states carports, garages, or other accessory buildings located within the rear portion of the lot as heretofore described shall not be located closer than 15 feet to the main building, nor nearer than 8 feet to any side lot line. The property owner is asking for a variance and they are here this evening. The property owner's contractor says that the proposed variance is to, quote, allow a semi-detached structure functioning as a continuous covered patio to the existing dwelling. The nature of the watershed of the U-shaped courtyard is the only reason for not tying the covered patio to the house. According to the contractor, the reason variance request, including hardships created by existing ordinance include, and I quote, unique U-shaped hip roof structure creates a dead valley, making a standard patio attachment architecturally impossible without significant structural remodel of the existing structure. We do have the contractor here tonight. Wants to speak.
If I need to do it, you guys are good.
Willing counsel, if you have questions.
I got some more information on it, see if I can get these some shots. Kind of like that.
I read it down.
So yeah, just essentially it's, I'm Josh Downs, Sherman, Texas. The house is just U-shaped with all the hips, so there's not really a good way to tie in the structure without having to dead down to the side of the other. If we want to cover the entire patio, so we're just trying to get that done without tearing walls down and reshaping the entire roof of the structure to get these guys for patio.
Council, I'm opening it up to you to ask questions or comments that you want to make.
I don't have a question, but I will make a statement. And tell on myself. Back in 2020, I had one very similar built in my backyard. I was ignorant of the permitting process. Small town Howe, America. I didn't do it with a permit. I can't say, I can't do it and then, do as I say, not as I do. I can't do that as a person. I motion to approve this, not just because I have one that did it the wrong way, but they are trying to do it the right way. I don't foresee any issues. But I motion to approve.
Okay, Billy has made a motion to approve. Does anyone have any questions or anything that we want to move forward?
Guttering, yes, it'd be a gutter across the rear of it, and then you come down, with a, closed gutter all the way to the front, down the front, it bleeds away from, okay, sorry. That's our main concern, the watershed, yeah, the porch is already low up against the house now because of the way it's been, so it needs to be covered, it's not like, yeah, so it needs to be covered, I think it would help with that overall. What makes a motion? A second motion.
To approve.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ed makes that second motion to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, motion passes. If there is no further business before the Board of Adjustment, this meeting stands adjourned at 6:25 p.m. All right, moving on to meeting number 3. Our city council meeting. There being a quorum present, the special session of the Howe City Council is hereby called to order on Wednesday, May 20, 2026 at 6:26 p.m. under the Open Meetings Act of the state of Texas. Did not receive any comment forms for citizens who wish to make a comment, but just in case anybody that's not on the agenda, which is everyone out there that wants to make a statement, that would be fine. All right. So we're moving on to, recognition of public official, citizens, or city employee. Our first one is Councilman Billy Ingram recommended Graydon Weinman to be recognized by the council and be given the Mayor Bragg moment. Mayor Bragg moments are when we brag on individuals for achievements and behaviors that positively affect the citizens and the community. Graydon is a high school senior who has signed with the Navy. Graydon, we recognize you this evening for your dedication to the community of Howe and to the United States. Your decision to join the Navy reflects a strong commitment to service, honor, and country. Your willingness to serve has a positive impact on both the community of Howe and the nation as a whole. Your courage, dedication, and sacrifice are greatly appreciated, and we are proud to recognize your commitment to protecting and serving others. And if you will, please come on up and.
For a second, one spot.
Yes.
So I actually intended to start this last year and it snuck up on me and we didn't get it started. So I reached out to the school counselors this year and asked, hey, do you have any students that have signed with the military? It should be treated just as big as a college signing day. If they're gonna go play sports and they get lauded, they should also be lauded if they're gonna go serve our country. It just so happened that G was the only one that signed with the military this year. This is a new tradition that we will keep going and recognizing those seniors that are graduating that go off to serve our country. I've had the privilege of knowing G and his family since I coached him as a 6-year-old in baseball. I've coached him in baseball and football. G, you're not the biggest, you're not the strongest, but if I ever needed somebody to turn their heart upside down and shoot everything out for their team, that was you. I've seen you do it for your mom and dad. I've seen you do it for the farm. I've seen you do it for the band. I've seen you do it since you were 6 years old. I have no doubt that you will do the exact same thing in service to our country. And I thank you for what you're about to do.
Why don't you come on up and let's get in if they can. Yeah, we're gonna take a, can you just take a picture?
Absolutely.
Send it, yes, family.
In fact, move out of the way.
I'm not too embarrassed. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Payoxer Gilly, one of Graydon's recruiters, and he's been nothing really through it. He's made a lot of commitment and he's definitely shown up, done everything that he's needed to be a future sailor and have honor, courage, and commitment. That's never been a thing that's been doubted with Graydon. So really proud of you. You're gonna do great things today.
Now look at your mom.
And do you want to in one of the photos? If you don't mind.
No.
She,
Everybody line up.
Everybody.
Why you got the chance? Okay, I will. Sorry. Well, I can see.
Big part.
There you go. We can get.
That's big, probably long enough picture.
And everybody's ready, let me know.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
We're good. Everybody say US Navy. Yeah. They're much.
Yep, feel free.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad to get it back up. Hi, there.
Thank y'all.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Next up is, employee of the month for the month of May. So this is something new that we're going to do. The purpose, I'm gonna read what I emailed all the employees for the city of Howe. And I'll just read to you what I wrote. The purpose of this survey is to recognize outstanding employees who demonstrate excellence, teamwork, and dedication in their roles. Nominations and selections for employee of the month are determined solely by city employees. So they were all emailed a survey, and it was all done privately. So there was no bias. The employee of the month for the month of May is Zach Monk. And I don't think he's here tonight. I did say he did not have to be here. Zach, but I'm still gonna brag on him. Zach works in the Public Works Department. Zach was voted Employee of the Month for the month of May by the City of Howe employees. Some of his coworkers had to say the following about Zach, and I quote, "Zach is very knowledgeable, one of the first to get money, he has one of the best attitudes and is very positive and always smiling. Zach is willing to go above and beyond. He has taught me some amazing qualities in our environment. He is always treating citizens amazing and going above and beyond for them. He has a great attitude, work ethic, and is dependable." Someone else said, he has helped me to learn more about this job and everything involved in it. He is the one I go to for questions when I need help. Zach, we are recognizing him this evening for his outstanding service to the city of Howe. He has demonstrated professionalism, leadership, integrity, and great kindness through his work in Public Works Department. His positive attitude, strong work ethic, and dependable service makes him a valued member of the city of Howe team. His dedication and commitment to serving the community are greatly appreciated and deserving of recognition as employee of the month for May. And so, he does receive a certificate, and he has a pin that says employee of the month for the month of May. So if anyone wants to look at it, already got there. And now we'll move on to a mayor brag moment, where we brag on individuals for their achievements and behaviors that positively affect the citizens and community. And I am bragging on Officer Terry McFadden. She's here this evening. Terry was nominated by a coworker, and let's see here. All right. Officer McFadden has constantly demonstrates professionalism, integrity, and great kindness in his service to the citizens of Howe. His positive attitude, dependable work ethic, and compassionate approach make him a valued member of the department and of the community. The following is what his coworkers are saying about him. Terry is a very important part of the Howe Police Department. His presence in the community is very known amongst the families and the children. I have done patrols in Timber Creek, Perdera Mobile Homes, The families and even the staff of Perdera have made numerous positive remarks about Terry's presence amongst the community. I've listened to conversations had throughout my time on patrol, and I have caught wind of him even being at the school bus stops to make sure the children are safe when the bus comes to pick up the little ones. If you were to look up what a real cop is, Terry will be the first person to pop up. That is why I am nominating Terry. There isn't a moment that I have seen where Terry hasn't gone above and beyond his work. When I get to work, Terry is in and out and straight to business with the time that he has for his code enforcement and his time with the community. He makes sure to get things done in a timely manner so he can be right on to the next thing at hand. Congratulations, Terry.
Might I add, Terry is the oldest member of our control team. Circle around the young fellows.
So,
I was almost engaged to sort of Michigan.
Still shows love. Appreciate you so much for all of your hard work. So, let's see, can we get a picture? Y'all want to get there? Come down here with us.
But it's gotta move.
Right. So that is little center.
Kind of ready for a drink. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That takes a little time, but we'll wait. All right. Reminder about up and coming events. Early voting for the joint primary runoff elections is currently going on at Summit Gardens, which is why we're having our meeting here.
You got 22 minutes.
Yes, they are open until 7 p.m. and you can early vote until Saturday, May 22nd. May 26th is election day, again at Summit Gardens from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then also the first Wednesday of each month is our Howe Day networking breakfast at Summit Gardens from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Everyone is welcome. And that also is at Summit Gardens. One last item, we will need to have a special city council meeting soon so that we can approve the minutes for tonight. So that we need our minutes for the bank to put Katie, our new city secretary, onto the bank on the banking council. She can do that. So I am recommending a Saturday, and I'm gonna ask the council, but you don't have to tell me tonight, but if you know, that's great, but just to be looking at your calendars. I am recommending that we do a Saturday morning because chief maybe have a candidate to interview for the council for the fire chief position. And the Saturday morning may be better for the candidate. So if you will, you don't have to look, you can look right now, or if you know something, let me know. Moving on to our consent items. These items consist of non-controversial or housekeeping items required by law. Items may be considered individually by any council member making such a request prior to a motion and vote on the consent items. Any item the council member requests to be voted on separately, it will be moved to the bottom of the action items. 1, discuss, consider, and act upon the following consent item. A, minutes of the regular city council meeting April 21, 2026. B, bills being paid for the month. C, detailed check register report. D, statement of revenue and expenditures. E, South State Bank secure deposits April 2026. F, recap and standings April 2026. G, investment report April 2026. Does the council wish to discuss any of these items? And if not, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Sean makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll take that.
Billy makes a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Moving on to our discussion items. We have departmental reports. Up first is Chief Sullivan, our Public Safety Director.
Mayor and Council, before we get started the report, I'd like to give a little brief update on the fire chief process and we're at the process. We got 11 applicants apply for the position. We did phone interviews with 8. We selected 3 to go to a board review. That board review consisted of myself, Lieutenant Sparks, Lieutenant Reed, and Assistant Chief, Lopez, and Fire Department. The completion of that interview, we came down to 2 candidates with one very strongly lead the pack, which would be my recommendation to become our next fire chief, as we continue the process. Additionally, as y'all may recall, we had a robbery at one of our convenience stores last month. Because of the support that you provided this department with technology, our license plate readers have allowed us to have the suspects in custody for 12 hours working collaboration with the Dallas Police Department. We have one recruit who's currently in the academy. She will graduate June 2nd. We'll have our first female patrol officer. We have made a job offer for a gentleman who works for the Denton Police Department. He's also one of their hostage negotiators. He's going to join our team June 1st. This past Saturday, we did testing for 13 applicants for EMT for paramedic to fill 2 positions. Trevor Reed was also sent to background school. That gives us a little bit of breathing room. So the backgrounds for the public safety personnel, just not with the police department, but fire and EMS, they can help do that since we're kind of during the burn of that at the moment. We applied for a grant. It's called Data Pilot. It allows us to have the ability to download phone dumps, PlayStations, phones, videos, all those things. Our investigations are more and more increasingly requiring that. And thanks to our relationship with Allen Police Department, that's where we do that currently. So we're hoping to get that grant. The grant could be anywhere from 100% funded to a percentage that we would have to apply for, which we're looking at max probably around $5,000. So we hope to receive that. The fire department received another grant. This is our 3rd grant that they've received, totaling $75,000 total. This grant will allow us to use technology, allow us to upgrade some of the technology. One of our own officers, Officer Christine Labattu, as y'all may recall, is one of our reserve officers, but she also works for an organization that tracks down women and children that are sex trafficked. She did a presentation today at the National Women's Conference on behalf of her organization of the Howe Police Department. As a reminder, we're fixing to have some changes in staffing. Officer Black, who also runs our K-9 program, is leaving in June to go to Iran. He'll go to a 30-day training deployment, and then the 2nd week of July, he is going overseas. Also, at the end of June, we will have our annual physical agility test, which consists of a row 70% based on height, weight, and age. So that is something that we want to continue to develop over the years, and at some point be incentive based for our staff to maintain a certain level of fitness. Moving on to the report. For our 2nd month, we saw a 22% decrease in call volume, but as I've mentioned before, we're starting to see a drastic increase in more violent crimes. We're seeing a drastic increase right now in sex crimes, especially involving children. We've had several active cases that we're working on. The April data showed that our increase in this part, like I said, we're seeing a decrease. I think part of it's been some of our crime prevention programs, as I know. Officer McFadden runs that for us. That's community engagement with our apartment complexes, our businesses, and some of our new residents, and the program that we're going to continue to develop. We did 129 hours of training. We answered 128 calls for service. We wrote 96 citations and 65 warnings for the month of April. Officer McFadden, working code enforcement, worked 24 new cases. Worked on 2 follow-up cases. We did not have to write any citations for code enforcement month of April. As I've encouraged before, we would like to educate our community on things to gain compliance, and we're having a lot of success to do that. Community engagement, all our staff came out for Founders Day and had a good time interacting with our community. On the fire side of the house, I responded to 58 calls for service. 47 of those calls were for EMS, 3 were for motor vehicle accidents, 2 were for mutual aid. We had 1 fire, and we provided 1 mutual aid to Tom Bean. We currently have 2 EMT positions open. The department conducted 42 hours of training. And as I mentioned, Captain Reed went to background school to help in the hiring process. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, sir, appreciate it. Next up, we have city secretary. Katie, did you have it in your report on? No, I figured, not yet, okay. So, and then next is public works, the city administrator. And since our city administrator is not here, I get to give you the report. Here, public works carried out 181 service orders, 13 new meters were set, 80 water main leaks. Pothole patching used 20 tons, 6 water main leaks were repaired, 11 disconnections were move out, mowing hours 75, mowing 75 hours, and two sewer main backups. So that would be public works. Now city administrator, giving you the highlights. I'm gonna read to you what he wrote. He says, this has been one of the most challenging 6 week periods without a city secretary. Meant the city administrator had to learn and execute accounts payable, payroll minutes of the meetings, retirement processes, insurance processes, audit preparation, and general in-house management. While it was somewhat traumatic, quote, it was an experience. So he was pretty traumatized, but he did a great job. And I know he is happy that he got to experience it because it gave him a whole new perspective. Streets, construction of the East Old Patterson Road has begun with some rock, but it will get done the same time Duke Street gets rebuilt. Personnel, Amy Lowry joins us. She, as our new city secretary, as of Tuesday, May 12th. And then, let's see. I am, a second.
For those that don't know, she came from the city of Denison. They were happy for her, but they were sad for them. So that speaks a lot.
All right. Municipal court for the past month, the total collected was $59,938.49, of which $19,776.06 went to the state. Permitting department, total permit fees collected was $75,088.86. Total meter fees collected was $21,200. For utility department, this past month, the city collected $262,285.14 for water, sewer, and trash. Please be mindful that the majority of this money was collected so that we can pay our vendors for water, sewer, and trash. We just pass that along. Don't want anyone to think that we all of a sudden came into some money. So, again, I am giving this report. So, action item number 1, discuss, consider, and act upon the final plat of Silicon Valley, Block A, Lot 1, being 12.410 acres, 54,575 square feet, out of the Charles Kimball Survey Abstract 678, City of Howe, Grayson County, Texas. So this was action item number 3 on the P and Z agenda, just for your notation. All right, discussion. This is Sutton Flats apartment complex at Ponderosa Point. The developer is the NRP Group. We have been holding back. This is the same thing I said from there.
You want to take a breath? I'll read that for you.
So, no, that's okay. I'll just go ahead. We have been holding back the NRP Group's, final certificate of occupation on their final building until we receive the final plat for Sutton Flats. Final plan for Sutton Flats. We approved a conveyance plan some time ago, but the official plan is required before completing the process and moving forward. An inspection still needs to take place in the sewer system, of which is nearly all private, and it ties into the gully system. City staff recommends approval for the with the following motion. Motion to approve the final plat pending the approval of inspection of the private and public utility system. That is, if you are going to approve it. Does council wish to discuss this item? And if not, would anyone like to make a motion? And I can repeat that if need be.
I motion to approve the final plat pending the approval of the inspection of the private and public utility system.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second? Ricky's gonna make a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Motion passes. Thank you. And thank you for offering earlier. Number 2, discuss, consider, and act upon a preliminary and final plat of Ponderosa Point, Block A, Block 4. Current zoning, PD 6A, proposed zoning, PD 6A, being 1.010 acres. Abstract number 426, and the Charles Kimball Survey, abstract number 678, City of Howe, Grayson County, Texas. All right, this is Taco Bell at Ponderosa Point. This was also on the Kingsby agenda, item number 4. Let's see here. The recommended. I'm looking at my notes. The recommended approval, city staff does approve or recommend approval with the recommendation that if you're going to approve, that you motion to approve the final plat pending the approval of the inspection of the private and public utility system. And the reason being is this is the preliminary and final plat for Taco Bell. Our ordinance states that we require these on each property and not just a conveyance plat. Our engineer has no objections to either plat. When the agenda packet was originally emailed to you, the final plat had not been submitted. However, we have since received the final plat. So basically, it is the same motion as the first item, if you choose to motion in that direction. Does the council wish to discuss this item? And if not, do I have a motion?
I motion to approve the preliminary and final plat of Taco Bell through Coke Equities.
So, okay, what the staff recommends though is the same type of approval, which the motion to approve cities.
Yeah, but I thought we'd already changed the final.
This is a different one. This is Taco Bell. The other one was set flats. So and the engineer also recommends us to move to approve the final plat pending the approval of the inspection of the private and public utility system.
I motion what you said.
Okay. Billy makes a motion to approve that. Do I have a second?
Second.
Sean is making that second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. The motion passes. Item number 3, discuss, consider, and act upon re-entering into a pre-development and professional services agreement with Legacy Realty and Investments LLC. All right, discussion. This is for the property at the end of East Davis Street, just south of the bank. Discussions have become extensive and require a redevelopment and professional services agreement. This allows our attorney and engineer to have discussions with the developer and bill the developer directly. Staff recommends the approval. For clarification, I just want to say that this is different from the Board of Adjustment item, because that also was on West Davis Street. This is about the property behind that house.
This is the one we went back and forth several times about this time last year, right? It's got that underground pipe that runs diagonally through it. I'm sorry, what it is.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
No, please out there.
Yeah.
So, yes, okay. This is also the one where the developer is looking to develop.
The street and all that stuff. Okay.
Yes.
That, yes.
Yes, so other items on here for that as well. They're looking at wanting to do like a storage facility with an office / storage.
Somehow it got like deeded to somebody and it's not technically the public street anymore, and weird things happen. That was-
Yes, and that is on the agenda, but not yet, though.
I motion to approve the agreement.
Okay,
The
the
PSA.
development and professional services agreement.
Yes, ma'am, the PSA.
Okay. Billy makes that motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Rick makes a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number 4. And this is the same property. Discuss, consider, and act upon development agreement between the city of Howe and Legacy Realty and Investments LLC. This development agreement is for the same property with Rich Johnson of Legacy Realty on the tract of land at the end of West Dave Street, just south of Bank. They want to sell a portion of their land. This property is unusual because it includes most of West Dave Street, which is technically a private road, residents having issues with title work and written access to their property. We have an agreement with Legacy Realty that once West John Street is improved to chip and seal, the city will take ownership of that street. The developer has agreed to pay the city of Howe $13,000 at the time of closing on the property sale, which is written into the development agreement. When we get to action item number 6, you will see an interlocal agreement with Grayson County to improve the street to chip and seal. In the future, once the second phase or lot 2 is being developed, West Davis Street must be improved to concrete. Currently, the city of Howe owns the small entrance section of Denny Street, and so the city will be paying the difference of the ILA amount billed from the county, which is $6,200. Staff recommends approval. Does the council wish to discuss this item any further? And if not, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Ricky's gonna make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ed's making that second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number 5, discuss, consider, and act upon preliminary and final plat of Oma Dow Edition, all of a called 3.88 acre tract, doc number 2024-17964 RPRGCT, John H. Miller Survey, abstract number 834, being an addition of the city of Howe, Grayson County, Texas, containing 3.880 acres of land. This was also on the P&Z, was action item number 2. Discussion, Davis Street property again. This preliminary plat and final plat is with Rich Johnson of Legacy Realty. The tract of land is behind the bank at the end of West Dave Street. They want to sell a portion of their land. These plats identify the property. For the sake of clarity, this is for allowing the developer to replat so the property can be divided into 3 sections. Lots 1 and 2 plus the road, which the city will eventually take ownership of once it is improved with chip and seal. Eventually, the road will be improved to concrete upon development of lot number 2. If action item number 6 is approved by the council, we will have an interlocal agreement with the Grayson County for the road improvement of chip and seal. Staff recommends approval. Any questions or discussion on this? And if not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the final plat for the Aldi Dell addition.
Okay, Ed's making a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Sean is making a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number 6, same property. Discuss, consider, and act upon interlocal agreement with Grayson County for the rebuild of West Davis Street. We received an interlocal agreement with Grayson County to rebuild West Davis Street, as previously mentioned, as part of the development agreement with Legacy Realty. As a reminder, the city of Howe will be responsible for the $6,200 to improve our section of the road that the city already owns, which will be chip and seal. The balance of $13,000 will come from the developer at the time of closing on the property sale, which is written into the development agreement. Staff recommends approval. Does the council have questions or discussion on this? If not, do I have a motion? Sean makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ed makes that second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number 7, discuss, consider, and act upon Grayson Central Appraisal District Resolution 2026-01, Grayson Central Appraisal District. The Grayson County Appraisal District is seeking to acquire land from the railroad for an expansion of property. This was approved back in 2024. However, they have misplaced the documentation. They are asking that all taxing entities that they reapprove their resolution to move this process forward. Staff recommends approval.
Say, lose my tax bill.
Does anyone have, on the council, do you have discussion? And if not, do I have a motion?
I'll motion to approve.
Billy makes that motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Chad makes a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Number 8, discuss, consider, and act upon assignment of declarants of right for connections. Discussion. We believe that once signed, we believe that once we sign the letter of acceptance at last month's meeting, that will clear the park to become property of the city of Howe. However, there was a change in the name of the group. That is Howe Community Connections Fund. Additionally, there are restrictions in place on a public street, which had to be addressed, as the city cannot accept the street with restrictions. After consulting with our attorney, and once our attorney reviewed the documents, he gave an opinion that we could go ahead and sign the letter of acceptance as to not hold up the closing of the property. I did sign the document last week. That was PI signed it. It was recommended that the council ratify the acceptance letter. Staff recommends the following motion. Motion to ratify the assignment of declarant's right for the acceptance of Connections Park from the Howe Community Connections Fund, LLC Fund. I think that's not right. So does the council have any questions or discussion? And if not, if you choose to approve, we are requesting that the motion is to ratify the assignment of declarant's rights for the acceptance of Connections Park from the Howe Community Connections Fund, LLC.
I make the motion to accept what you said.
All right, it makes that motion of what I recommended. Do I have a second?
I second.
Billy makes a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passed. All right. Yes, sir.
Can I address the council on that related to that?
Well, we're not supposed to have public, but I'm the mayor. If you don't mind, there's a little microphone so they can hear online. They can hear.
Well, first of all, thank you for accepting that one document. So there are 3 other documents related to the conveyance. It doesn't have to be signed by the city, but we need a city official to acknowledge that those documents are acceptable and that we're good to go.
Do we have those documents or do you have them?
Yes, you have them. They've been reviewed by Mr. Kelby. And he was good with those 2 weeks ago. But we need something like from a city official that says we're good, and we can close.
So do we have clarification? Do we need to sign those 3 documents?
That's my signature.
A letter.
Just an acknowledgement that they are acceptable. That we're good and close.
And they've already been accepted. Those documents already been accepted.
There's no review.
Review, I mean, review, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just y'all will review them. They're all been 2 weeks ago.
So acknowledgement that they are acceptable and
And we're good to close.
you're good to close. Okay. So, does that need to be from, do you know, is that something that I would need to, well, I can see later, the attorney. So the letter of acceptance, was that not enough, the one that I did sign?
No, so that was related to. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so these 3 documents, there's a deed for the park property, there's a deed for the streets. And then there's assignment of the park improvements.
Okay. Okay, so the deed of the park, the deed of the streets, and the assignment of park improvements. Okay. Thank you, sir.
So we're scheduled to close at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah. Great question. Will always be rescheduled. I thought that. City attorney will be here and we could have some sort of.
Gotcha.
City administrator just texted me to let you know he has acknowledged they are good. He is good to go.
Excellent.
It's my phone, just like yours.
Yeah, you sent me one too.
That kid, no, acknowledge is good.
That,
He's watching. He's watching.
So you don't need anything else?
that was good.
All right, good.
That's,
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah. I'm on him.
All right. Moving on to action item number 9, but I'm first going to give discussion. So when Councilman Ingram and I took office in May 2023, the city was behind on several audits
It was so fun. 2023 is so fun.
and many of the city financial management and record keeping processes were outdated, causing audits to move slowly. Since then, we have worked diligently to modernize and streamline our bookkeeping processes, and today, nearly all of our records and operations are maintained electronically. To help move the audit process forward more efficiently, I reviewed the Texas Municipal League's definition of an audit and consulted with the city attorney. Based on that guidance, I have concluded that it would be in our best interest to allow the city administrator to conduct, or excuse me, to allow the city to conduct its own audit due to limited funds available with small cities, and we fall into this category. Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 103 requires municipalities to conduct annual financial audits and file the audited financial statement, including the auditor's opinion, with the municipal clerk or secretary within 180 days of the fiscal year's end. According to the TML, one of the largest impediments to compliance with Chapter 103 has been difficulty in finding certified public accountants to conduct an audit that is affordable for a small city. It is important to note that and I'm quoting this, it is important to note that a city is required to engage a CPA to conduct an audit only if the city's records and accounts are not audited annually by a person prescribed by statute, by charter, or by a person in the regular employ of the city. In other words, a city is technically authorized to designate a city employee to conduct the audit and may choose to do so if engaging in the services of a CPA strains the city's resources. Chapter 103 does not define, again quote, Chapter 103 does not define the terms audit or financial statement. Because the terms are undefined, a city has broad authority to determine in policy what must be included in the audit and financial statement. This statute itself requires only that the audit be conducted, that the annual financial statement, including the auditor's opinion of the statement, be filed with the city secretary, and that a valuation of assets and liabilities of certain employee benefit programs be included in the financial statement if applicable. I am requesting that the city administrator serve in the capacity as the city auditor to obtain all financial information and grant an opinion for both audits needed to. Again, this is with city secretary, or excuse me, city attorney approval. 9, discuss, consider, and act upon designating city administrator Lonnie Walker to conduct the 2023, 24, and 2024-25 audit. Does the council wish to discuss this item? And if not, do we have a motion?
I make a motion, we accept the body and for work.
He just gave up the city secretary job. All right, so Ed is making a motion to approve the number 9, discuss, consider, and act upon designating city administrator Lonnie Walker to conduct the 2023-24 and 2024-25 audit and give an opinion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ricky's making a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed, motion passes. Ordinance number 846, an ordinance of the city council of the city of Howe, Texas, temporarily reducing the maximum rates of speed on certain portions of the US Highway 75 in the corporate limits of Howe, Grayson County, Texas, during construction, providing for a penalty clause with a maximum fine of $2,000, providing for a severability, providing for a repealer, finding and determining that the meeting at which this resolution is passed was noticed and is open to the public as required by law. So, first is the discussion. TxDOT has asked that we pass this ordinance to reduce the speed during the construction period of US Highway 75. The ordinance takes their recommendation. City staff recommends approval. So now I'm gonna open it up for public comments, because this is a public comment item, so it's open now for public comments. If anyone from the public wishes to speak on this matter. Do I have anyone? Since I do not, we will now close public comment time, return to open session. 10, discuss, consider, and act on ordinance number 846. Do I have any discussion from the council? If not, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ordinance 846.
Okay. Sean makes a motion to approve ordinance number 846. And do I have a second?
I'll say.
Billy makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Ordinance number 847. An ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of Howe, Texas to amend chapter 6, section 1, entitled Sanitation Services, and repealing ordinance number 808, providing for repeal of ordinances in conflict, providing for an amendment to the rate schedule. Discussion. A couple months back, we had to approve the rate increase from Frontier Waste Solutions due to our contract. Utility clerk Becky Roberts calculated those increases in rates and made the adjustments which have been outlined in this ordinance number 847. Essentially, this approves passing along the increase to our customers, which will begin June 1, 2026. City staff recommends approval. Now, we get to open this up for public comment. Anyone from the public that wishes to speak on this matter? Okay, since we do not have any, we will close public comment, return to open session. 11, discuss, consider, and act upon ordinance number 847. Does the council wish to discuss this item further? If not, do I have a motion?
So before anybody tries to come for us and pitchforks, because we're raising rates. This is the second rate increase or third?
No,
In the 23, so they raise the rates, we don't control. that.
that's right.
So this is the third rate increase that I've seen. They do it, we go back every year.
Yes, but
This is the first one that we're passing on to the citizens. So the city absorbed the first two.
yes, yes. That's correct. All right. Any other discussion from the council? If not, do I have a motion?
Honestly, that was correct.
Any other discussion from the council? If not, does any council member want to make a motion?
I'll motion to.
Billy makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second? I heard Ricky make a second. It's closest to me. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None opposed, motion passes. Ordinance number 848, an ordinance of the city council of the city of Howe, Texas, replacing ordinance number 823 and ordinance number 811. This ordinance establishes the mobile food vendor application, registration, and provisions, and providing a penalty not to exceed $500 for violation of this ordinance. Discussion. Due to House Bill 2844, the state of Texas has taken away a lot of restrictions cities can place on mobile food trucks. This ordinance updates our previous ordinance to codify these changes. City staff recommends approval. Now I need to open this up for public comment. Anyone from the public wish to discuss or ask questions? All right, since we do not have any, I will close the public comment time and return to open session. 12, discuss, consider, and act upon ordinance number 848. Does the council wish to discuss this item any further, or if not, do you have a motion?
Make the motion, we accept ordinance 848.
Ed makes that motion to approve, accept ordinance number 848. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ricky makes a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Resolution 2026-0003, a resolution of the city of Howe, Texas, authorizing and designating the city secretary as an official authorized user of the city of Howe for banking and depository services. 13, discuss, consider, and act upon resolution 2026-0003. Does council wish to discuss this item any further? If not, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Ricky's gonna make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Chad makes a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? None are opposed. Motion passes. Executive session. The city council will convene into closed session pursuant to the provisions of the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code. The city council will convene in executive session as authorized by Texas Government Code 551.074, personnel matters, to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, or assignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. Texas Government Code 551.071. Litigation, consultation with attorney, cause number 425 CE00286 SDJ. Just so no one knows, our attorney's not here, but I will call him. Well, and he's gonna speak to us on that. Council will now go into executive session. The time is 7:21 p.m. Thank you all. We will go
So, Marty,
into
this is the-
executive session. Y'all have a good night.
Y'all would, read the street. Before the city code.